I started rewatching South Park, and I started with South Park Season 6. So today we are going to be making the first out of many videos recapping and reacting to some of my favorite shows of all time, that being South Park Season 6. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. So the reason that I wanted to start with Season 6, okay guys, is because and what's funny is I've watched this show growing up, and I watched it at way too young when I was supposed to. I've had some great memories watching it because my grandma actually showed it to me, and she's unfortunately no longer with us. So as dumb as a show like South Park is, it holds a special place in my heart. And I wanted to start off with this because when I was younger, I found the fart humor really funny, but now that I'm older, I'm 27 years old, I no longer find, like the I don't find any of that funny. So I wanted to actually get into South Park, and I wanted to start off when it was more of like they got away from that humor, and it was around Season 6 when they started doing that, and I got that information off ChatGPT. I didn't even come up with that myself, but it reminded me how much I really miss the old version of South Park. And don't get me wrong, South Park is hilarious right now. I have loved probably every single season that they made, with like the exceptions of some episodes here and there. I've loved it. I still think it's very funny, but I forgot how much funnier it was when they were just kind of like kids being kids. Like, we're going to talk about like the baby's boobs episode. We're going to talk about all of it and why I enjoyed this entire season, man. There was a lot that I forgot, okay? We're going to be getting into it. Let's get started with the first episode, that being just, there's not too much that we could dive into over here, and it's the whole episode about Jared, and I forgot about like how big that of a thing that used to be. Jared ended up having AIDS, but what really shines in these episodes is how much they just gaslight Butters, where they have the idea to like make Butters fat so they can have him in his own commercials and they can make a bunch of money, and they're like, okay, who's going to get fat? How about if your name is Butters, you do it. Kyle, what's your name? And what's funny is my brother and I have taken this and just rolled with that joke forever. Like, no matter what, like, we've done it to my sister over the years. Well, how about if your name's Kristen, you take the garbage out? What's your name? Oh, your name's Josh. What's my name? Oh, my name's Kyle. Like, then we circle over to my sister. There's a lot here that I remember from my childhood, to be honest with you. I love the way that they gaslight Butters, where it's like, oh, Kenny would have done it. Dude, they're such horrible friends. And then you even have the episodes where it's like the parents talking about Butters, where it's like, oh my God, I'm so glad that Butters found a new group of friends. And then Butters like goes away, and Kyle's like, yep, isn't Butters such a piece of shit? I love it. So they made Butters get fat. It was a good episode. We have the entire episode with Aspen, which I actually really hated that episode. Like I just said, I have loved the entirety of South Park with some key episodes here and that I didn't like. I've always disliked that Aspen episode. I get the humor in it. I get the timeshare thing. I get the classic like ski movie thing. Don't like it. Never found it funny. Now, one that I actually did find funny, though, is when they ended up having Butters. Again, they're gaslighting Butters to putting balls on his chin because he had to go on a defect show. Now, I think it was the Murray show they called it. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's still a thing. I don't know if it was a thing of the 2000s, but I'm not familiar with that. I get the idea where it's like you just take advantage of people that are a little bit less fortunate. So Butters was stuck there. A man with balls on his chin next. And then, like, dude, the way that, like, Cartman laughs. And by the way, I totally 100% was not watching this at my day job. 1000%. I would never in a million years do such a thing. But I was watching this in a place where I had to, like, not show any emotions. And Cartman losing it, seeing Butters with ball on his chin, like, just the way that Cartman laughs, like the old way, like the just like they call Butters up, and it's like I can't help but like laugh along with that, man. So good. The other thing that I really liked too was one of the episodes that I loved throughout the season. I didn't like the Baby Veal one was okay, but the one where they have to catch the new Terrence and Phillips movie trailer, that kind of like reminded me of being a kid a little bit, because we used to run around doing those things. And that's another thing that I really loved about this is South Park did a good job, like, actually, and I know they exaggerate it, right? But they did a good job, like, capturing that, like, childhood, like, little innocent adventures that you go on. Because I remember trying to catch things on commercials with my friends, and, like, we've had to, like, jump houses before. I remember specifically there were times where my dad's just like, nope, TV's mine. And we had to end up going somewhere else, but we had to, like, catch it in time because we didn't have streaming services back then, man. All of that was really fun. Cartman running out of breath, them having to listen to Russell Crowe. I'm not familiar with him either, but yeah, I guess he fights people. There's a few jokes that I've missed because it's not exactly my time, I guess, but just the kids running around, them making fun of Butters the entire time too. Butters had to go get Shelly tampons, like, dude, it's all really funny to me. But the show really picks up with the next few episodes because we have the introduction of Professor Chaos, and while I didn't like Professor Chaos, I just found him a little bit boring. I liked the episode that he was a part of where they kind of made it a reality show where it's like, okay, Kenny's not here. We have to find a brand new friend. And then you have Jimmy who's like, big points for Jimmy. We got to skip the line at whatever amusement park that they were at. And then he needed help getting on. So Cartman's like, points deducted. I liked all of that and how all of the kids actually wanted to be part of the group. And even just, posing with the intro, I'm like, this is nice. This is pretty nice. The entire Professor Chaos story, was not interested in it. In general, disarray, I don't care for it. I just don't. Butters going around and Butters is one of my favorite characters in South Park. Don't get me wrong. Just didn't really care for it at all. He's just flipping plates and stuff. I thought the episode really had the strength when they were looking for a brand new partner. But Butters was sad, kicked out of the group. And poor Butters, man, he's such an innocent soul too. He was like, well, you guys, I just hope you're happy with your brand new friend. I'm sorry that I couldn't live up to Kenny. And they spent the entire season being like, Butters, you're such a piece of shit. You're not Kenny. Suit, it's so good. And the following episode with that, okay? We have the entire thing of, I have to be careful with my words over here because of YouTube. You have the church and the special activities with all of the priests, okay? I always struggle with these ones because I am a man of faith. I'm very, very deep into my faith. But I also have a very good sense of humor. I can't help but find this type of stuff hilarious. And then I circle back and I'm like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to laugh at that. I understand what it's mocking. But I also acknowledge that these types of things happen. There are bad people infecting, those special areas. And my heart's in the right place. It's got to be okay to laugh at this. But I know it's not okay to laugh at it. So I have a little bit of an internal battle when I view things like that. It's just, South Park mocks everything. It's okay. I personally don't get offended by it, but I feel like I should be offended by it. But that's the nature of South Park. Nobody's safe. They make fun of everything. And the episode was hilarious where Father Maxie was this really, really good priest learning all of the... He goes to I don't remember what was it, a meetup? Where they're like, hey, we have to stop all these priests from, doing the special thing to our boys. They're like, stop it! Whoa, da, 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 da. They're freaking out about it. I found all of that pretty funny. It was a good twist of the show. And along with that, in the same episode, you have Cartman having the episode. Dude, I remember back in the day, this was the funniest thing in the entire world. And Cartman making the bet with Kyle that he can't, crap out his mouth. And then Cartman was even surprised that he ended up doing it. And then it was the healthier way to do things. And it goes to show, too, that that's all it takes for society to start, trying this brand new thing. Actually, it's healthier to shove food up your butt. And then that's all it would take. People would absolutely do that, okay? So, we have another episode about Steven Spielberg. Not really too interested in that, but my favorite episode from this entire season was, and I think, excuse me if I'm misremembering the title, but it was Baby's Boobs Destroy Society. It was more so because, again, I remember being at that point in my life, I remember the days where girls started to go through puberty, and then it was all of the boys in the class would do exactly what Cartman and them were doing, except they wouldn't even notice the breasts, right? And it's oh, that Bebe girl? Has she always been that cool? That's actually how it works for kids. What's sad is I don't know if it even works like that anymore. Because all these kids are growing up addicted to adult content. They're not growing up properly. I haven't thought about that until now. Regardless, that's the way that we grew up. I remember those days. I remember when I initially, we all remember having our first awakenings and stuff like that. And then there were certain girls that were always ahead of other girls. And all of a sudden they were actually more popular with the boys. It's just funny to me how that works. And all of the guys just going ape brain, Randy having to talk to Stan. All of it was great. And Wendy at the end of the episode, and it just goes to show what girls would do to each other too. Wendy noticed Bebe after being friends for all of these seasons, getting attention from all of the boys. All of a sudden, oh my God, I heard that Bebe did this and this and this and this and this. Oh, Bebe, salute, all of that type of stuff. I liked it because it's very accurate to what happened. Except, of course, at the end of the episode where everybody freaks out about Bebe. Freaks out. Bebe ends up getting breast reduction surgery. Wendy gets breast implants. She looks ridiculous. And then, of course, you have Cartman laughing at her. Everybody laughing at her. I love the misery of Wendy and Butters throughout this entire show, dude. So good. It's just, that one in particular, that one and the Terrence and Phillip movie trailer really, really, really made me call back to my childhood. And I know it's such a silly little show, but I remember going through that stuff. The season continues on and gets, I don't want to say it gets stronger, but it's very consistent in how good the episodes are. Everybody's happy because they're building a ladder to heaven. Cartman ended up eating Kenny's ashes because he thought it was chocolate milk mix, so he has Kenny inside of him speaking to him, but they needed to get crap. What was it? It was a ticket for candy or something like that. Regardless, they needed to build a ladder to heaven, and all the parents are like, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, they'll never be able to see their friend Kenny again. And everybody's thinking that it's for some great reason, but Cartman's just like, oh, that piece of shit Kenny hit our ticket. All of it great. I wish I could break down some of these episodes a little bit more, but the premise is pretty simple, right? The other one was it World of Warcraft? No, because the other kids were playing Harry Potter's. It's based off of like Stick of Truth, isn't it? Where like they're playing wizards or whatever they were, but then they made fun of the kids playing Harry Potter, and oh. And I gotta love Randy messing everything up, right? Like the backdoor slots 9. It's so bad that like I remember what it was called too, and they have to get it back. They send the kids on a special quest, but don't look at it. And of course, poor Butters ends up getting invested in it. Butters going, my precious. And it's like, dude, the way Butters' mannerisms are to the entire thing, it's like, ooh wee, oh wow, this is good. And he's probably watching like the most despicable thing that you could possibly put on TV, right? Just alone in the basement. Butters end up going crazy for it, but I enjoyed that entire adventure too. Again, gives me a nice callback to like 4th grade. I loved it. Going on those adventures, you know, having your staffs, play fighting with people, going around the neighborhood. Nobody does that anymore. Now I sound like a boomer. That's what I really, really loved about this season. But we continue on. There's only so much that I can mention about this episode because you also have the episode of Mr. Garrison and Mr. Slave. Mr. Slave was funny. I don't think that we can really mention anything that really happened without getting my video flagged. So besides that, there's like, you know, Chef goes to go to tolerance camp, which is pretty funny. Just Chef going, me? And the season closed off with an episode of Stan trying to, you know, prove that person fake that talks to dead people, which obviously I don't know how people even, I don't know how people believe in that. But we also have the episode of like the future me. The only really funny part about that one was at the end of the show, or at the end of the episode, the future Cartman ended up coming down and it was actually future Cartman, and Cartman being Cartman was like, yeah, screw you. Just because you told me that, I'm going to spend the rest of my life eating nothing but unhealthy food. And then the guy transforms in the future. That was funny. And we had the Christmas special. I always hate watching Christmas specials when it's not Christmas because I get like really into time. I'm a November 1st type guy, okay? I'm in Canada. Our Thanksgiving is in October, okay? November 1st hits, my wife and I were ready for Christmas. But I don't like watching Christmas episodes in the middle of August. I just don't. The only thing that was funny is Cartman trying to like make up for all of the bad things that he's done. It's so funny because Eric can get like really like, I don't want to say what the cute isn't the right word, where it's like, oh my God, I'm just an innocent little boy, you know, Mom, where he's singing all the Christmas carols and stuff. All of it was great. This, I know I just started rewatching this and I haven't watched it since I was a kid. I don't know why. I've never revisited these seasons. I've revisited like particular episodes here and there, but I forgot how much fun this was. And I think I enjoyed watching it now more than I actually did when I was a kid. Some of these reminded me of actually being a kid. This is a very strong season. I loved it. I'm going to be watching season 7. We're going to be making a review for every single season of South Park. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here and watching, everybody. Why don't you check out this video on screen right now? YouTube thinks you like it the best. We talk about all things movies, TV shows, anime shows. If you're new here, love to have you over there. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, everybody.